my family always tells me, oh, you're not telling me anything that you're doing. You're not telling me what you want to do next. You're not telling me this. You're not telling me that you want to buy a house.
I was just following what they were doing, and I thought that if they are making money out of it, I can make it in the same way. What I did before kept me in one place. I had to be in the same town forever from Monday to Friday. Also, I had an online shop open, so I always had to stay at home a lot to...
Nice. So, you said you moved a few days ago to actually another country. How long are you planning to stay there?
For at least 3 months. I feel like the weather is fine. The hour is perfect for me to trade. Like, for example, London starts in the afternoon and New York starts later in the night. I actually didn't enjoy waking up in the morning in Europe to trade. It's more relaxing right now. Like, I can do my things in the morning, I can relax in the morning, and then I can work. So it's better for me.
So that's why you moved there?
Also the weather, the food, everything, the way of living is way better. And probably I got a little bit bored in Europe since I've been born there and I stayed like most of the times there. So that's why I wanted to explore more and to open my horizons, if I can say it in that way.
Yeah.
Because every time you explore a new country, you kind of discover something more about the country, but also about yourself. So this is how I'm living right now.
Of course. Nice. And what about, where were you based in Europe? You were going around or only one place?
Literally, I was staying in Romania most of the times at my home. I didn't really enjoy the weather and I didn't really enjoy traveling too much in Europe. Like when I traveled for like 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, and then I was back home.
Yeah.
Like I didn't extend it too much.
I see. So, so you decided to basically go somewhere else, far away. And of course I understand because I need to wake up early in the morning to trade as well. So London session, if you want to catch some good opportunities, of course you need to wake up at a certain time when there is high volatility. So do you trade both London and New York session, or do you focus more on one of the two?
I started to focus more in the last year on New York since I kind of catch more trades there. Usually what I observe is that New York follows what London does in the morning, at least for the way I trade. So it's better for me. Like the chances for me to catch a better trade is in New York at this point.
Oh, nice. Okay, then...
What about you?
So for me, it depends more on the life that I'm having at that moment that I'm trading. Because, for example, 1 year ago, I was trading New York session because, in the morning I had to do some other things. I wanted to take care of business, take care of investments, and then trade in the afternoon. Then I switched. And I'm doing the opposite. I started trading the first 2 hours of the day. So I wake up, I trade 2 hours, London session. And then after that is just taking care of business, taking care of investments, coming to the office, recording podcasts, all of these things. So it depends on the time of the year, how busy I am. I would love to trade both sessions. But of course, I prefer to focus 2 hours, be laser focused on trading during those 2 hours, and then move on and do other things, take care of other things.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Nice.
How many hours do you trade usually?
I can say that for now it's way easier for me. I trade like 2 hours, 3 hours, but like 2 years ago I stayed more. Like I stayed all day on charts. Literally all day, from morning to late in the night, just to observe moves. But it was beneficial, but also in the same time, it wasn't too good for me because I took too many trades. I learned a lot, but I took way too many trades, and I didn't observe the hours of volume and what I observe right now after practicing more.
Yeah, I will say that every trader has a phase where he's trading, in the beginning especially, many hours just to stay on charts, see what's going on, see if there are opportunities. The problem is, I say this every time, the problem is that the more you look for something, the more you will find it, even if it's not there. So if you stay 10 hours on charts, you will find opportunities that don't even exist, for sure. So it's good to, I've been there as well. I did it in the past as well. So it's good, to select your best trading hours and trade during those hours and focus on the opportunities that you find there. I always say this, but it's very, very important.
I think it's the same when you put something in the chart. I mean, if you put a lot of indicators, a lot of stuff, then you always find an opportunity to enter.
Right.
So keep it simple for both for charts and for time.
What about you? Do you use indicators or you focus on other things?
Actually, I don't use any type of indicator. The only thing that I'm using is a script in order for me to be easier to catch the hours of volume and Asian high and low. This is basically all that I use.
Right.
I used it. I was trading retail like 4 years ago. This is what I started with RSI and things like that, MACD. I remember that.
Everyone starts from MACD, RSI, moving averages. I was there too. It was the same thing. So talking about the beginnings, how did you actually approach trading? How did you get interested?
Oh, it's a funny story. It's so random. Like, I was at a party with my friends and I just heard in the background that someone was doing Forex for a living. And I was like, okay, it sounds nice, it sounds different. What if I will do a small research tomorrow after I come back home? And when I searched about it, I was really impressed. And I was like, okay, I have to do it. Basically, I never talked to that person ever again. But only the fact that I heard about Forex made me start a career out of nothing. It's a pure...
I don't know if I understand well, but he was trading during a party?
Oh no, he was only talking about it and I heard it. Like I heard the conversation. And I was like, okay, maybe I should search about it.
Anyway, we were asking, I was wondering, you were telling me that you heard the word Forex for the first time during a party. You got interested in trading. How was the transition from actually hearing about Forex during a party to actually starting to trade and to actually become profitable like you are right now?
Oh, it was really gradual. Like, first of all, I just started to look for YouTube videos to learn about indicators. I thought that this is the way. I tried many strategies. I combined them. After that, I got into a group of signals because this is what everyone was doing at that time.
Right.
I lost some money, of course, because I didn't even know how to calculate my risk, how to enter a position. Yeah. I was just following what they were doing, and I thought that if they are making money out of it, I can make it in the same way. Right. So it wasn't like that. Then I started to actually realize that this is not the way. It's not that easy. It's actually the hardest way to make easy money. So I have to learn more. And I discovered some mentorships regarding what I'm doing right now, and I just learned over and over again. After that, I practiced it on demo, I backtested it, and after like 7-month period, I started to make a live account and to trade on there with small lots, with a small size account. And this is how I started to actually make it, to actually trade in a better way. Because what I did at first wasn't really trading, and now I realized that like it was just a game. Yeah. I was a little bit gambling and thought that I was doing something great, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, right. Yes. Now, of course, it is really uncommon for me to hear someone that hears about trading during a party. But I would say that the other part where, a lot of people, I would say that they start and they look for signals, they look for this, they look for that, they start on YouTube. And then there is a certain point where they understand that the road to profitability requires something more effort. So this is what you did. It's great. And I wanted to ask you, it was one of the questions that I really had in mind. During these days, there is really a big, hype for prop firms that are giving funding. Are you funded or are you trading your own capital?
I trade both. I really like funded accounts. Prop firms, they give a lot of possibilities, especially for the traders that don't have a lot of capital to trade with, which is great. this is actually how I made my own capital. Like I got the profits from the prop firm and I started funding my own live account. But
Nice.
I really enjoy trading all of them, not in the same time. When I'm feeling more confident in myself and when I know that I probably have trades that won't lose an account, I go for the prop firm, because the 10% drawdown rule is something that scares a lot of traders, and I still have that even today because I can't really manage all the money from the account. I really know that someone else can take that account from me.
Right. Yes.
But I consider that for most of the traders is the best way to start trading and actually to continue trading, because I did trade only on a funded account for 1 year.
For sure, yeah. No, it's great opportunities. Of course, there are some limitations that you feel like you cannot freely trade 100% as you want. But at the same time, I would say that prop firms are a great opportunity. You just get access to bigger funds, as you said. So for beginners, it's great.
I'm actually really interested when a new prop firm appears. I'm one of the first people that want to try it, because I really want to see if I pass the challenge, if I obtain the account, and so on.
Right.
So it's another account to trade with in the future. It's great.
Yeah, I believe there will be some new ones soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been founded?
I started being funded like 2 years ago, I think. 1 year and a half, 2 years ago. The first 2 years that I was trading, they were like retail stuff. I couldn't even get funded with that. I wasn't the best in retail. Even if the strategy works for a lot of traders, it didn't work for me, so I just couldn't get funded by that.
How are you trading now? You moved, I believe I saw your Instagram, you moved a bit to smart money. You have your own way of trading. How are you approaching the markets?
I use smart money combined with liquidity, and also I use imbalance a lot.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
I saw your posts, and of course I saw that you have some smart money way, but I think that every smart money trader who is actually profitable has its own things. Like, of course it's smart money, but then you need to have your own things that you're looking for in order to, make it better, make it more profitable.
Yes, to make it work for you. Because every time somebody asks me if I'm using smart money concepts, I'm not really confident into saying that, because I know that I added my own way of doing it. So I'm not pretty sure that it's exactly smart money concepts. It's just what works for me. Right. And if it works for me and I'm profitable with it, it's completely fine. I don't want to put a label on it.
Correct. You had a question. You were.
I have a question. You talked about mentorship. Have you ever had a mentor? And if so, is he or she still your mentor? Or what do you think about having a mentor to improve your strategy and your way of trading?
I think a mentor is necessary at first, especially when you're learning. For example, when you want to be in a certain way, you have to find a role model and you have to copy the moves that he's making. Yep. And this is what I did. I found a Forex Academy at first. It doesn't exist anymore. They were doing a lot of Zooms regarding smart money concepts. Back then, I don't know if it was the best academy ever, because they didn't even name the concepts. So it was like something really mixed. After that, I learned the names. I learned the name of the strategy. I switched mentorships again. I had like 3 or 4 mentors that were teaching the same stuff. And I think that it helped me a lot. Like I couldn't get this information for free. I couldn't, how can I say it? On YouTube, you have a lot of information. You don't know which one is good and which one it isn't, because everyone can post there. Yeah. And you basically don't know if it's going to work or not. There's a lot of fake news in the Forex industry, so you don't have to follow all of them.
So you would suggest to a beginner to look for a good mentor to improve trading.
Improve and start,
No?
Yes, absolutely. For me, there's no other way. Like, you have to have someone close that you can ask stuff about trading.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
I completely agree. At the same time, I believe that some things you can understand them from the market by looking at charts, but only after having a mentor. So you need to learn the stuff, you need to have guidance, and then after that you go on charts, you practice, and maybe you see other things, extra things.
You find your way.
Right, that can help you even more. So I have a question, a lot of to your approach in trading. I have a question about your approach in trading. Do you only focus on one pair, because there are a lot of people that do that, or you focus on many? What is your approach?
I focused on 2 pairs, but lately in the last 2 weeks I just chose to trade on one. So usually 2, maximum 3 pairs to watch, but only 1 to trade. This is how I get to. Like I watch Euro USD, GBP USD, and also gold, but most of the times I only take maximum 1 trade per day, and it's either on Euro USD or GBP USD, rarely on gold. This is what I observed.
I believe, I believe we have a similar approach, because I really focus on Euro USD, GBP USD, and gold. I focus on 2 more, so I usually have 5 on my watch list, which is NZD CAD and also the DAX index, the German index. These are my favorite ones. Of course, I trade only one at a time. I don't enter multiple trades at the same time. But I noticed you were talking about Asian range. You were talking about, Euro USD, GBP USD. I believe, of course, we have different ways, we have different approaches, but also at the same time, we have some things in common. I would say in trade, in the approach that we have. You focus on Euro USD, GBP USD. I really like those pairs too, and I really like trading after Asian range, which helps a lot for my strategy. So it's great to hear that. Yeah.
I saw your analysis.
Yeah.
So yes, it's pretty similar, and I really like what I'm seeing there. Yes.
All right. Thank you. It's great. I saw your analysis as well, and I was really impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a question about back testing. You said that you do back test, and I think it's part of your strategy. And on how many time you back test usually? Which is the time window you back test on?
If I understood the question correctly, if I'm backtesting in the last week, because I have to remember the events that were happening in the market. Also, I observed that if I go too far in the past, in the history of the charts, some things do not match with what's happening today, and I have some missing parts on the chart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not working like that. Or what I did before, instead of backtesting, was really to sit on charts in that exact day and to observe the market with no speed up. Like I just stayed there and I waited for the movements to happen and to learn this way. I don't know if it works like that for all the traders, but backtesting on longer periods don't work for me necessarily. What about you?
No, I usually look at the last month or 2 months. Usually, when I go back years, doesn't work. It's different. But I would say, I go back on shorter periods of time. So I can relate to that. I have another question. What were you doing before trading? I would say this is very interesting, because a lot of people see you on social media right now and they see you as a trader. But what were you doing before?
Before I was doing marketing for plastic surgeons and AI filters on Instagram in Romania. This was my job. Yes.
No, I see a lot of people don't have anything in common with trading, and they just start and they change completely. But how would you say that your lifestyle changed from that moment to when you actually started making money with trading?
What I did before kept me in one place. I had to be in the same town forever from Monday to Friday. Also, I had an online shop open, so I always had to stay at home a lot to make the packs, to deliver them. I had everything by my own. I was my own employee, so it was really hard to work 2 jobs. Also, I had university, so everything happened in the same area, and I was tired. I was really tired by the lifestyle that I was living. The money weren't enough for me. So this is why I wanted to learn so much about trading. I realized the benefits of it, and all I really wanted was to move from country to country, to visit, to observe new things. Yes, so this is basically why I wanted to start Forex trading. No other reason. Like just to travel and to work from anywhere in the world and to not be stuck in a place with the same co-workers, you know.
Of course. No, I would say that traveling is one of the main things that really, really unlocks how you feel free, basically. I love to see around the world as well, and I can really understand this. So now you started traveling. You're in Asia right now, right?
Yes, I'm the second time in Kuala Lumpur right now because
Oh,
I really
second
liked it.
time.
Yes. I really liked it the first time, and I feel like I can live there for longer. I don't know, for some months. It's nice for this period. After that, maybe I don't know. I will move to another country in Asia, like close
Still
to
in
this
Asia?
place.
You want to stay in Asia?
For the moment, yes. Because no, it's about the flights. This is the only reason. I have I get really sick during flights, so I really like to approach it little by little, to move country for country just a little bit.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Singapore,
Yes.
it's the next one. It's very close, very close, and very interesting
Really
city.
Yeah.
3 hours by car.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
Yes.
yeah.
That's
It's very,
amazing.
very
That's
close.
amazing. I was talking to Giorgio. We just had a podcast with Giorgio couple of weeks ago. If later you want to check it out, it was really a nice podcast. And he was talking that he wanted to go to Singapore because you can actually network with a lot of entrepreneurs, traders. Like Singapore is a hotspot to actually meet people. And yeah, we might go. We might go. No.
Yeah, would be great. I lived 4 months in Singapore a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
It was a great place, quite humid.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only inconvenience.
Yeah,
Right.
The humidity.
Right.
But otherwise, it's perfect to live in. Like the lifestyle there is amazing. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Singapore was formed from Malaysia some years ago.
Yeah.
This is how it.
yeah.
Another question that I have, I would say that many people that are watching us right now are maybe beginners or intermediates. What advice do you have for people that are starting to trade? Do you have an advice?
I have more. Yes. First of all, to trust the process because it's a long one. To not believe everything that they see on the internet. To not believe that everyone else is profitable except them, because nobody will post their losses.
Right.
And how can I say it? Like, yes, just to be patient and to actually realize that Forex is not easy. Forex is really not that easy, and it's not for everyone. You have to have a passion for it. This is what I think. Like, you have to enjoy watching the charts. If not, you will hate it and you won't actually make profits. The psychology part.
Right,
is really
100%.
important.
I completely agree. How did you actually... We talked about a lot of things in the technical part of trading, but how did you actually manage the psychological part of trading? How did you approach it? How did you improve it?
I had to, and I think that yes, because I wanted to make money, and I was like, okay. The first problem for me was that I was really impatient. I couldn't wait for my alerts. I couldn't wait to take good entries. And I realized that this is how I am in real life too. So when I started to understand how to be patient on charts, it helped me in other aspects of the life too. Like when I improved myself on all the aspects. So trading really helped me being a better person at all.
Nice.
Yes.
Great. I love it.
Yeah. Do you have any question, Mark?
Well, I have a question. It's not about trading. Trading can be a very good way to make money, of course. But when you have money, you also need to manage it. I mean, you can spend it, but you also need to invest. Do you invest?
Only in crypto at this point, and I'm planning to invest in the future, but I'm not ready. Like I just wait for now. There are some periods for me when I just invest, but in the same time I have some people that invest for me. I have some advisor in the stock industry. I don't invest for myself because I don't have time to get the information for everything, so I trust other people doing it for me. just for a small commission that they take. Because I'm really young at this point, and I can't know everything. I'm only sticking to the Forex market.
That's great. In order to focus on one thing, it's really important to focus on one thing and to keep improving it and scale that one thing. But would you say, of course, this reasoning is perfect according to your situation, but would you say that in the future, because in the future you never know, you have a lot of time, you're very young, would you say that you're looking forward to actually getting more information about the investing world, and to maybe in the future do it on your own instead of
This is totally my plan. Plan. When I will not be this busy with the community, with Forex, with all the projects that I have right now, I will stop working with other people, with the advisors, and I will start to get information for my own investments. And also I will trust myself more. But right now, no, I don't have to.
That's a great choice, actually. It's great to actually, to actually realize when you're ready and when you're not. If you think, oh yeah, right now I'm really busy, I have my community, I have my trades, I have everything to manage. I'm traveling. It's great to do as you're doing and say, yeah, I will have other people take care of this for now. But then in the future, it's great that you are approaching it this way and you're like, okay, when I have more time, I want to trust myself more and I will get more information about this. Yeah, it's great.
Actually, right now I realize that I won't have to be greedy and to make my own investments if I really don't have the information. I was, okay, let's find someone that is doing better than me and just to ask for help. It's better to ask for help than to remain clueless about some kind of, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have any advice for me in the future regarding this?
For investments? For
investments, yes.
Do you want to start or?
I have in this that first of all that you shouldn't put all your money in the same basket. This is the first advice I would like to share. So why I think it's so important to understand how investments work, how asset allocation works, and it's a question of to keep it safe, to keep capital safe.
Yeah.
So that's why I advise to an advisor is okay, of course, but I think it's better to learn how to manage money, how to allocate in different baskets.
When you have time.
Both financial.
Yeah, when you have time.
When you have time too, of course.
Yeah.
So my first advice is don't keep all of your money in the same basket. This is
another thing that I wanted to connect with. It can be really, really helpful also for the people watching us right now. And this is a concept that Mark taught me. Mark taught me so much about investments. It is the difference between the real economy and the financial economy. So the financial economy is everything that can be switched off right away with a click. So if there is no electricity, you cannot have that economy, basically, which is stocks, bonds, can be contracts of gold, just the contracts, the paper, can be cryptos as well. So that's more the financial economy. Cryptos is a little bit borderline because it's a little bit different. Maybe you have the ledger, whatever.
Yes.
But at the other type is the real economy. The real economy is everything you can touch. So luxury watches, gold, physical silver,
real estate,
of course, all of these things. It's really important to not only differentiate between assets, so to not put all of your money in the same basket, but at the same time, it's important to differentiate between the real economy and the financial economy. Because I know it is very, very, it is very
risky,
an extreme case that everything is switched off. But during these times, all of the things are happening. All of the crazy things are happening during these times. so it's important to protect yourself and to differentiate between real economy and financial economy, and to even, have something tangible that you can touch, and it is still a good investment if you invest correctly. So this is one advice that I have, and it is thanks to Mark that I learned about all of these things. Yeah.
Oh, so that's amazing. So you learned from Mark in the past?
Yeah, most of the real estate and precious metals, yes, thanks to...
Yeah, we are working a lot also in this, in investments with the Investor University, so we are also always in the process to improve our knowledge about it. And
I believe that, a lot of people, I don't like to say this word because it is overused, but a lot of people talk about financial freedom. And to me, financial freedom is not just making a lot of money. It is actually investing that money that in order to know that I'm safe. Like I have no way of completely going broke. Like if the internet is switched off, if electricity is switched off, if
a bank
everything
account
goes to hell, I'm still safe. So that's for me. That's it for me.
Yeah, a bank account also can be switched off.
Bank account can be switched off. Yeah, all of these things.
Yes.
So yeah, for me.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree, and thanks for the advice. It was really good. Yeah, it was a really good one.
I'm glad.
Great.
I totally agree with the fact that financial freedom doesn't mean to trade Forex and to go from country to country. It's to have multiple assets and multiple sources of income. So if one of them fails, you have the other ones left.
Right.
This is it.
Yes.
Correct.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go back. We were talking about the discipline, the psychological part. We were talking about the road from not being profitable to actually being profitable. One thing that I really saw in common in a lot of people is isolation. Would you say that this happened to you as well? Did you actually isolate yourself in order to focus on one thing? Not completely. I'm not saying that you never went out with anyone, but did you actually, spend more time alone in order to be where you wanted to be, in order to achieve what you wanted to achieve?
Yes, I had multiple periods doing that. I had like 6 months periods, 1 year periods when I just isolated myself in the house, refused parties, refused to go out with people that haven't got the same interests as me. It was hard at first, but it was worth it. I knew back then that it's stressing, it's not okay, it's not appealing to do it for now, but I knew the rewards in the future. So I only went out and stick to people that had the same goals as me so we can help each other, but that was it. Like I wasn't really social. I just stayed in the house and learning stuff. That's
amazing. It always helps. That's amazing. We talk about this all the time because, we meet many entrepreneurs, and I will say one common thing about actually being successful is isolating yourself and having this approach. And, also selecting who you spend time with and what things you hear, what things are put in your mind, all of these things. So you are actually lucky to find people that you could talk to about similar goals, about similar things.
Yes, you have to search for them because they are searching for you too. Because people that have this type of goals are always searching for connections in the industry. So usually they are not on the street. You don't hop on them in the malls. You have to search for them on the internet. Right now we have internet, we have groups, we have Discord. Like it's really easy to connect and to talk better stuff than, I don't know, what are people talking about right now in the early 20s? I don't know. Parties.
Random stuff that doesn't get them anywhere. Doesn't really help in general. But go ahead.
No, I was thinking, what about the guy that told to you for the first time about trading? Is he still trading?
or
not?
Yes. I don't really know because it was the last time I saw him. So
okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know who that person was. It was just what he said. Yes.
So you should thank him.
Yes, if he's watching this, I don't know. Who knows?
Right. Maybe he is watching
I'm
this.
joking.
Maybe he is watching this. But yeah, there was going back to earlier. There was a really good advice on isolation, selecting people you spend time with, having certain goals in common, all of these things. And I wanted to connect because for all the people watching, of course, we are doing this podcast to give out a lot of great content that can help traders, early entrepreneurs, and all of these things that can help them. But at the same time, we are doing this podcast to connect with like-minded individuals like you that, we have a goal in common. We want to achieve greater things. We want to do bigger things. So all of these things is great to connect. It's great to meet really motivated individuals like you. And nothing, I just wanted to say this.
Yeah, we are in the process of growth, and this process never ends.
Right. Yeah.
Talking about habits, do you think habits are important to achieve your goals? And do you have any habit that you would suggest to everyone else to improve his I don't know his to achieve his goals?
Yes. At the moment when you realize that you won't have excitement and energy every day to work for your goal, is exactly the moment when you will realize that discipline is really important. Like, discipline is more important than the excitement that you have for achieving a goal, because excitement comes in waves. Like, in 1 week you can be excited on Monday and Friday to work for your goal, but in order to achieve to that point where you can actually, sorry, my English broke right now a little bit. Yes.
Don't worry.
The idea is to constantly work for your goal,
Yeah.
even if you don't feel like it, because in some days you would really want to chill and take a break, but the idea is to not take that break when you feel like it. You have to remember why you started it, even if you're not excited in that specific moment. Just work.
100%.
Work for it, be disciplined.
100%, yeah. I switch a little bit. No, sorry, go ahead.
Do things that you don't really want to do at that point, because in the future it will be rewarding for you.
Yeah, of course, this is very important. I would say that it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do things you don't feel like doing. But the moment you do them, I find so much motivation, and I get really, really excited when I don't want to do something. I do it anyway. For example, I don't want to lift weights one day, but I still do it. And then I'm like, I feel this is what gives me the biggest excitement, basically. When you are overcoming the things that you don't feel like doing, when you are basically pushing your limits, I would say.
Oh yes, you have to get your dopamine from the right sources.
Right. Yeah. Yes. How about would you say that you journal, or do you meditate? Do you visualize things that you want to achieve, or you're not into these things?
I do. I have different periods in the day when I just sit by myself and I start to visualize what I'm trying to achieve in the future. I remind myself why I started. I don't. I'm not the type of person that meditates, but I really visualize everything that I want to achieve.
Yeah. I would say that we can give different definitions to everything, but at the end of the day, visualizing is some type of meditation, we can say.
Yes.
So of course that's great, because I would say it's really, really important to see in your head what you want to achieve, and at the same time think that it is normal for you. Because of course, if you want to, if you want to be a profitable trader, but you see profitable trading so far away from you and you see it so difficult to achieve, you're just putting it outside of you, and you cannot reach it. Instead, you need to start. Let's make another example. If you never traded a 100K account with a funded company, you need to start seeing 100K as a normal number for you, because otherwise it becomes really, really, really hard to actually manage it and to actually achieve it. So yeah, visualization is crucial, as you said.
Yes, you have to believe it, that it's close to you. Everything is close to you. Because if you grow up really poor with a family that had a bad mentality about money, it would be hard at first to get away from the mentality and to actually believe that you can do it. Mm-hmm. It's easier for the people that had money all the time, but it's achievable. You can do it only by the power of your mind.
Yes, correct. That's amazing. I always think this way. I always say it to my community. It's really, really important to also take care of these type of things. It is not only about, spending time on charts, practicing, working very hard. Of course, that's one part, but at the same time, if you see these things so far away from you that they are so hard to achieve, then it becomes really, really hard to actually achieve them. Mm-hmm. So you say that you visualize your possible future goals and all of these things. How about, what are you visualizing right now? What are your future goals, if you want to share any?
Usually, what I do is to not share my future goals, just because the brain considers that they are already achieved. They are already achieved. So my brain will give me right now the same dopamine as actually achieving them. Mm-hmm. So of course, I want to level up. I want to grow my accounts in trading. I want to grow the community that I'm having right now. Mm-hmm. So all my goals right now are levitating around trading, around Forex communities, around social media, for the next 5 years. But nice. on the long term, of course, I have more goals that I have this stuff. I can't really talk about them just because my brain will. Yeah, because we spoke about the power of mind. That's a great
approach. My family always tells me, "Oh, you're not telling me anything that you're doing. You're not telling me what you want to do next. You're not telling me this. You're not telling me that you want to buy a house." And I'm like, "Yeah, for the same reason. I tell you after I do it." They get mad usually. They get really mad usually, but that's how it is.
Yeah. Or when you're almost so close to getting it, but. If you're so far from your goal, like, it's better to work for it in silence and then to to see the real results.
Actually, it also gives me, I would say, it also gives me a little bit of anxiety saying it, even when I'm close, because you can be so close to something but still not get it. So I just wait. I wait. That's my approach.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So anyway. Thanks so much, Andrea, for connecting. It was great. Let people comment under this podcast if you want to bring Andrea again and do another podcast with us. We will see you soon.